hopefully just to keep in your mind is share with other people what this experience is like. And the more the word can get out there, the more this opportunity can be given to others. So that's what I'm here for, is to share the story. So you guys can be a part of that.
Thank you.
She whelped a litter of puppies. She knew how to do that. She knew how to take care of them and get them all clean and dry and lick them and everything. That's an instinct. Nobody taught her that. You can't clicker train that, right? You can't reward that. You will never, ever, ever overcome an instinct. If they have the instinct, you can never make it go away. If they don't have the instinct, you can never make it become an instinct. Born with it. Some instincts, an example would be prey drive. I have to get that squirrel. If they're born with that prey drive, you can manage it. For months, you let your dog drag you around on the end of the leash. You've allowed that instinct to reappear, so it's harder to get rid of. So any instincts that these dogs have had, we have controlled from a very young age. We did not let them develop this, okay? 4 things that they really react to are sound, smell, motion, and touch. So if they're in a noisy environment, then smell, really. I mean, you saw the dogs in there yesterday. They knew there were tennis balls up on that counter. They couldn't see those tennis balls. They could smell the tennis balls. There were treats in there. There was this in there. There was dog food in there. The smell is a really powerful driving force for them. Touch is a driving force. But touch is going to work to your favor. Because if they're distracted and you can actually touch them, it'll break their concentration. Then follow with a, watch me. So do you see how you can overcome some of that? Motion. They can be walking along just perfect. And boy, if a squirrel runs by, they're going to look. They're dogs. But that's where your timing comes back in. Watch me. Let's go. Get their attention, redirect them, and give them a job to do. Does that make sense? Do you have any questions on that part? So you know all of those are going to be distractions. In the mall, well, you'll see when we get to the mall, there are all kinds of distractions, and we've tried to go over all of them and generalize distractions with dogs. We try to generalize everything with these dogs, that all loud sounds are okay. All strange smells are okay, so that they don't react to all of it. We just try to generalize that you just keep trudging along, you're going to be fine. Operant conditioning, and that's what you guys are going to be using here. And if they realize, if I do something, I get a reward. So they have to, just remember, operate. They have to operate. They have to do something to get it. So they quickly learn, if I said I get a treat. If I said I get a pet. If I go get this and bring it and hold it, I get a reward. So that's kind of wrap your brain around that and think, because when you're working with your dog, I want you to try to understand why your dog is or isn't doing what we're asking it to do. Okay?
Does she love it? No. But does she do it? Yes.
So she
You
sits
just
next to you?
You just have to be a little bit more in control that day. You have to have your treats. I use very high level treats when I travel. And the dog goes right in front of me.
These dogs are highly, highly trained. So it stands to reason that we're going to hand you a leash and you memorized your commands. So you're going to get out there and think these dogs are going to do it? They're not. They're not. They're going to look at you like, who are you and what right do you have to tell me that? And the dog is thinking, why does this person does not have the authority? I don't know this person. It's not a member of my pack. why is this person saying this? And I'm not sure how I should act right now. This is why it's so important that the client only manage the dog, because you have to establish yourself as the authority and to the dog that the dog is supposed to accept you as the leader and is supposed to follow your direction. We talked about your voice, and we talked about the inflections in your voice. When we first start working with these dogs, of course, when you want them to come to you, always try to imagine that they're heading for the street and there's a bus coming. So you always want to make sure that when you're giving a directional command to come to you, it's a happy, happy voice, and you get really silly when they do it. Right? So it's, come here! Yay! Come here! You're giving them a command to do an obedience command. You need to have in your voice the authority so that the dog says, you know, I need to do this. So be mindful of that. Motivators. Motivators are any stimulus that causes a dog to want to work. So can anybody give me some examples? Can you think of any examples of a motivator?
Treat.
There you go.
Praise. The ball.
Yeah.
Voice.
Voice. Great. How about a smile? Dogs learn your facial expressions really easily. It's one of their instinctual things they learn young. I mean, when you watch a dog, what happens when a dog snarls at another dog? The dog goes, sorry, dude. But when they come up with their tail wagging, the other dog's like, okay, let's play. So remember, especially when you're frustrated and you're ready to have a meltdown and you're going to cry because the dog isn't listening, ask yourself if you're showing the dog a happy face. You're smiling at the dog, even when you're frustrated. So sometimes it's like, yes, sit. But try to keep your happy face on.
Laughing.
Say about rewards. Does anybody remember what we were talking about? We just discussed some types of reward. A smile, a touch, a treat, playtime, favorite toy, petting, soothing words, belly rub, whatever. Right? What did we say about timing of the reward?
Right away. 1 second, that's 3 seconds is longest.
There you go.
They live
You
in the
get your
moment.
gold star. Exactly. Exactly. Dogs aren't capable of vindictive thought. Dogs are not capable of reasoning. Dogs are not capable of human emotion. They certainly have emotions, but they don't have human emotions. And they live in that second. Right then, right there. And we have to get these dogs to perform at a high level, we have to capture that moment every time we touch the leash until the dog, you're going to meet some dogs later in the week that have been with their clients for a while. And when you see what these dogs are going to do for you once you've had them for a while, it's jaw-dropping. Dogs do not have human emotions. You have to think like a dog, you have to use the dog language, you have to use the body language they're used to.
Come on, world, we got something to say. Laughs on the line, we're breaking away.